Hello adventurer! If you're looking for the perfect itinerary to explore Sentosa while you're in Singapore, this video is for you. I'm Tommy, your local Singaporean, and in this ultimate video guide, I'll be sharing the best day trips to explore Sentosa on your own. Trust me, I've been here hundreds of times, so I know exactly where to go, especially if you want to see a lot of things in very limited time. So, let's begin. Sentosa is the fun capital of Singapore. It's a very accessible island just south of the city that's packed with everything from free museums and nature trails to underwater world and thrilling roller coasters. Rain or shine, you can easily spend a fun and fulfilling day in Sentosa. However, it can get overwhelming if you don't know where to start. So, let's go. Day 1. The must-do in Sentosa, especially if you love theme parks and thrilling rides, is the Universal Studios. However, if you don't want to waste money on an express pass, but want to ride all of the rides on your visit, here's the ultimate route that you must follow. The grand plan is to hit all of the top attractions while the queue is the shortest. So start your day early, get to the Universal Globe by 9:45 AM. Past the gates, immediately head to the Sci-Fi City. Go straight and turn right. Keep following the main path until it feels like the future. You really cannot get lost if you just follow the huge twisting roller coasters. I strongly recommend ignoring everything else on the way, such as taking pictures, sightseeing, because all of that you can do without queuing up. Please do not go out shopping at this time. We have rides to take. Now in the Sci-Fi City, we're gonna hit up the Battlestar Galactica, the Human and the Cylon. Also hit Transformers 4D. Next, walk towards the Egyptian statues and get on the Revenge of the Mummy. I have to tell you again, this is my favorite ride, so after you take this, leave a comment in this video, tell me if you like it. Next, spot the dinosaurs and walk through the gates of Jurassic Park into the Lost World. If you brought your raincoats, this is the time to take them out because we're getting on the Rapids Adventure. Even if you get a bit wet here, it's okay because we're gonna take the canopy flyer, which surely help to dry out your clothes. Check the time because we cannot miss the 1:15 PM Water World show. If it's not yet time, hang around in the Lost World, take a break or have your lunch here. From this point onwards, you can let loose a little bit, enjoy the sceneries, take a few photos, because around this timing, the queue wait duration is usually the longest, so there's no point rushing around anymore. Next, travel to the kingdom of far, far away, which is just next door. The sun will be very hot right now. That's why we're gonna hit up the Shrek 4D show first, followed by the Minion Mayhem in the next zone, the Minion Land. Afterwards, hopefully the sun isn't trying to kill you anymore because we're going back to the far, far away to get to the Enchanted Airways and the Puss in Boots Giant's Journey. This is actually my favorite zone. It really brings me to the tale of once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away. And now we're actually very near to where we started, at the Hollywood. Get inside the lights, camera action by Steven Spielberg and experience the world of movie special effects before CGI. And ta-da! You've just experienced the full range of the best rides in the USS. But wait! You're not done yet. It's probably close to 5 PM now. If you liked any particular ride and want to experience it again, this is the perfect time to encore because the rest of the crowd are starting to go home, which means no queue. In one of the visits, I rode the Revenge of the Mummy 10 overtimes just before closing. I was almost lip-syncing to each line in the ride. The most important information is how to get to USS. The easiest and the cheapest way is to take the Purple Line train to Harbourfront, get out of the station via exit C, and walk towards bus stop number 4. Just in front of the bus stop, there's a small fenced area where you can get on the RWS 8 shuttle bus. For the price of $1, the bus will ferry you all the way to the Resorts World Station where USS is. By the way, I know that there's a lot of details here, but no worries, I've actually summarized everything into this ultimate Sentosa cheat sheet that you can download for free, so you can refer to it as and when you need it. The link is in the description. However, if you don't want to miss out on any details, or worse, miss a turn when navigating between places, you will need a reliable internet connection on your travels. Personally, my favorite solution is to get an eSIM from Holafly, because not only that is the easiest way to get internet access on your travels, unlike other eSIM providers that slap you with a limited data package, then suck you dry with their data top-up. Holafly offers unlimited data usage, so you can continue using your maps, watch more travel guides, or keep yourself entertained while on the go. My favorite trick is to use my Holafly connection as a hotspot. Boom! Now all my friends and family also have internet. Plus, I can connect my laptop to the internet to do my work anytime, anywhere, all without worrying that I will run out of data. Trust me, the last time I bought a cheaper eSIM with limited data package, I ended up spending way more because of the top-ups. For some reason, the Notes app that I'm using is eating up so much data. And good news, you can get 5% off your eSIM purchases from Holafly by using my discount code DashingHeights. So if you like convenient and stress-free internet on your travels, give Holafly a fly. The best area for dinner is around the Resorts World Station or the beach station, which is where we're going next for some musical fireworks. To get to the beach station, board the Sentosa Express monorail from the Resorts World Station. Good news, the monorail is free to use for transfers within the island, because you only need to pay if you board from the VivoCity station. Depending on how long you want your dinner break to be, you can choose to catch the 7:40 or 8:40 PM show. To make the night even more magical, take a walk along the free light exhibit Sensoryscape, which will surely be a highlight to your night in Sentosa. The Sensoryscape stretches from the beach station all the way to Imbiah station, very easily and beautifully walkable. That's the end of day one, but it's only the beginning of your epic Sentosa adventure. Day 2, we're gonna hit all of the top attractions in Sentosa with the best value. Start at the Harbourfront station again at 8 o'clock in the morning, but this time we're gonna take the Sentosa Express monorail, which would cost you $4 per person, but I will show you later how you can get on for free. For now, take the monorail from VivoCity to Imbiah station. Explore nature in Singapore at the newly renovated Sentosa Nature Discovery. But don't stop at nature exhibits, because there's a whole tropical rainforest to explore at the Imbiah Nature Trail. For extra adventure, explore the abandoned historical Imbiah Fort and admire the Tampines Cascade at the end of the trail. And my favorite spot in Sentosa, the Siloso Skywalk. For a total price of $0, you get up the elevator to a sky-high view of the Sentosa Island. Continue down the skywalk, Fort Siloso, which is now a museum where you can explore well-preserved olden military forts and learn the darker side of Singapore history for free. Depending on how much you want to see, you can spend 2 to 3 hours at the Fort Siloso. From here, if the weather is not so bad, enjoy a leisurely walk along the beach. Otherwise, take the free beach shuttle to get to the beach station, which is the perfect spot for a short rest and lunch. Otherwise, you can also catch lunch at the Resorts World Station, because that's where we're going next. Again, take the free monorail. The sun is the worst at this hour. So, after lunch, walk over to the Oceanarium, which is just across from the USS. It's indoor and air-conditioned, and enjoy the wonders of the underwater world. You'll likely spend 2 to 3 hours here, but feel free to spend even longer because we don't have any other schedule to catch today. Next, get into the magical world of Harry Potter at the Visions of Magic exhibit. After all that fish and magic, we're heading back to the mainland for a scenic alfresco dinner. The most convenient way to get back is to take the monorail, but if it's too crowded, head down to the basement and look out for the RWS 8 shuttle bus. Both will bring you back to the VivoCity where we'll be going. Now, this might be your craziest Singapore dinner idea. Here's how you can get a scenic alfresco dinner without breaking the bank. Step 1. Find food that you can easily take away. Just go to B2, you will not run out of food options. The supermarket at B2 also offers ready-to-eat meals at reasonable price with free indoor sittings. But tonight is an alfresco night. Step 2. With your food, go back to level 3 and go through this glass door. Just find a spot with a nice view and ta-da! Enjoy your DIY alfresco dinner. You will definitely see locals doing this too. This spot is also popular amongst families because, as a bonus, your children can play in the water. It looks pretty clean. If you still got the energy or you want to make room for dessert, go down there and take a casual stroll along the boardwalk. It's an amazing stretch to take an evening stroll to enjoy the sunset. Actually, the boardwalk goes all the way to Sentosa, but right now, the part nearer to Sentosa is under renovation, so just stay around here. About the hack to save you a lot of money, here's how you can ride the monorail for free and save up to 25% on your tickets in Sentosa. Introducing the Sentosa Discovery Pass. Basically, each pass is a digital wallet with prepaid tokens that you can use to pay for attractions at a different price. Most of the time, lower price. Why this is so broken is because the pass is always on sale. You can get 95 tokens at $79 and 130 tokens at $109. So you kinda get a double discount. But wait, there's more. If you use my discount code DASHING, you get triple discount! The cherry on top, every pass grants you 2 free entry on the monorail. Essentially, $8 bonus value per pass. After checkout, you'll get your Discovery Pass in the form of a QR code. To get your free monorail entry, just scan it directly at the gantry. To use your pass on attractions, just show your QR code at the entrance. The staff will scan it for you. You can top up your pass at any of the Sentosa ticketing counter at $5 per 5 tokens. However, the most annoying thing is, not all of the attractions in Sentosa are covered. Plus, you gotta do some math to know which pass to buy. On the bright side, one pass can be shared among multiple people. Just beware, each pass will need enough tokens inside to pay for that one attraction you're redeeming. Anyway, to make this super easy for you, I've made this calculator to help you hack the Sentosa Pass. Here's how to use it. Let's say I want to visit the Harry Potter exhibit at peak hour with my wife. Just select the drop-down menu for 2 adults and bada bim bada boom. It will tell you that 130 tokens is needed. If you buy one of the 95 tokens pass, bada bim bada boom, it will tell you that you're short of 35 tokens. So if you top up the difference at $5 per 5 tokens, it will cost you a total of $114, which is still cheaper than if you have bought them separately, but it's even better if you buy one of the 130 tokens pass, because then you don't need to do the extra top up and you save a lot more money. All these references and the calculator is free for you to use. However, if you'd like to support this channel, please consider using the affiliate links in the spreadsheet, because I'll get a small commission from your purchase at no additional cost to you. That helps me greatly. For an even better price, apply my discount code DASHING at checkout. Thank you very much. Next, we have a beach adventure to get to. Start your day again at the Harbourfront Station, but this time we're going on a very short yet very rewarding hike. Get out of the station via exit D, then turn left to get into the Marang Trail. It's legit so short, you'll finish within half an hour, but you'll get to enjoy a very good high viewpoint of Sentosa from the Faber Point. From there, backtrack a little bit to get to the Mount Faber cable station to get into the cable car to enjoy the cable view along the way to Sentosa. Get off at the Sentosa cable station, walk over to Imbiah cable station right to the Siloso Point, which was where we were at yesterday. But this time, we're gonna have a free and easy beach adventure on the best beach in Singapore, the Siloso Beach. This beach is so good because it's full of facilities and surrounded by things to do. There are plenty of toilets along the beach where you can shower and wash up, but the best part are these huge public sheltered pavilions. Usually, when I come here with my friends, we'll pick a nice sheltered spot, then take turns looking after our belongings while the rest play on the beach. And you will not run out of things to do on the beach. Here are my recommendations. For a fun adventure, rent a kayak or an SUP board to paddle and explore around the bay. For something more thrilling, zoom down the beach on the Mega Zip Lines by Mega Adventure. Or for something drier, ride down the hill at the Skyline Luge. And if you're into extreme sports but wanna take it safe, get on the indoor skydiving at iFly. For something extremely real, there is also a bungee jumping tower by the AJ Hackett that you can jump down from. However, if you don't want to spend too much, just hang around the nice beach. It's very clean. Maybe bring your own ball, your frisbee, or a nice book to accompany you. However, by noon, the sun will get unbearably hot, so pack up, wash up, and we'll go for lunch. The Siloso Beach actually has got quite a few restaurants that you can pick. But for more budget options, go back to the beach station or try out some of the foods at the Palawan food trucks. Next, get to the beach station to take the monorail to the Imbia station to enjoy the indoor, air-conditioned Madame Tussauds Museum. Since we bought a round-trip ticket, get back onto the cable car at the Sentosa station to get back to the mainland. We'll get off at the Harbourfront station. Now, chill at the mall for a little while, go for an early dinner because I have a short sunset hike I want to take you to. From the Harbourfront Centre, which is the exit B of Harbourfront train station, get up that escalator to the second floor and get out the glass door just beside of KFC, get across and walk to the reef dock. Just follow the path with the water on your left and you'll reach one of my favorite places, the Bukit Cermin Boardwalk. If you still got energy, explore the Labrador Nature Reserve. Otherwise, grab a spot and enjoy the sunset. About accommodations, usually I don't recommend staying in Sentosa itself because number one, there is no budget option, and number two, it's very inaccessible to other parts of Singapore. However, if you're planning to do the itineraries that I outlined in this video, it will actually be quite worth to stay a few nights in one of the hotels in Sentosa. I will include my hotel recommendations in the Sentosa cheat sheet. And congratulations! Now you have everything you need to enjoy the best of Sentosa. But if you want to see the rest of Singapore, you have to watch this video over here. I'll see you there.